and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be of me answering the simple question, how do I keep my airbrush running smoothly throughout my whole makeup routine? Now I get asked this question all the time, and for the sake of not having to answer it every time via messages and things like that, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do. That way you can go ahead and see if this is something you want to try for your routine. So if you're new to my channel, you probably don't know that I do the majority of my makeup via the airbrush, which means my foundation, my blush, my bronzer, my highlighter, my brows, shadow, liner, all that is done with the airbrush. So of course I'm going to want to develop some kind of method to make sure that my gun is spraying smoothly throughout my whole routine. So this is what I like to do. How I get my gun to stay smooth and spraying beautifully throughout my routine starts with a brush. I know airbrush makeup brushes kind of go against each other a little bit, but having these brushes really do help the process. Now I just have detailing brushes. I picked up these brushes at temptopro.com. You can get detailing brushes pretty much anywhere, whether it be your local hobby store or your art store or anything like that. You can find detailing brushes. I recommend that if you are going to get detailing brushes from your local stores, that you definitely find one that has synthetic bristles. I find that the synthetic bristles are less likely to absorb any of the pigment or any of the product as opposed to natural bristled brushes that will absorb a little bit more of the glitter and all that stuff. And these ones I find are a little bit more easier to clean. So definitely go for a synthetic bristled brush when you're looking for a detailing brush. Now the set that I got from temptopro.com came with 5 brushes. They're numbered, and I'm assuming that the numbers have to do with the size of the brush end, I guess. The size that I'm using is not the smallest size, it is the number 2 size, and the number 2 size is probably about the same as the end of a spoolie, if that makes any sense. I figure that spoolies are all universal, but that's about the comparison between, the brush tip. It's about the size of the other end of a brush. If you look at it next to a spoolie, because spoolies are always, usually the same size, this is pretty much what you're looking at. So definitely try to find yourself one that's this size, because this size seems to work the best for me. So hopefully, it'll work the best for you as well. So now that you have a brush, you just want to go ahead and start by getting into the habit of understanding which shades are actually going to clog your gun. So I want to say that you can't ever expect your gun never to get clogged, just because that's not even a possibility when you're working with air, liquids, and pigments. You always want to expect some degree of clogging, especially when you're getting into those makeups that are a little bit higher in pigmentation. Clogging of your gun is not an unusual thing, but how you deal with that process to make your makeup process run smooth and quickly, this is what we're trying to go for today. So the first thing that I like to do, and let's just say that I had used 2 opalescent shades in here. My gun is clean right now. There's really no point in showing you a dirty gun, and besides, I don't ever keep my guns dirty, so that's just a tip. Don't ever leave makeup in your guns, because of course deep cleaning is going to be required prior to any use if you leave any makeup or residue in there. But let's just say that I use a Kohler opalescent shade. So the first thing I would do to get it out would be to spray the rest of the shade out onto a tissue. Maybe take some running water, just a few drops, turn my compressor on, and spray it out, on a towel or a tissue or whatever I have. I'll just go ahead and rinse it out a little bit. And then if I do notice that I still have some residue in my cup or in the front of the needle housing, I'll take 2 drops of my citrus cleaner, and this is just the one that I got from Dinair, of course. So I'll take 2 drops of my citrus cleaner, and then a few drops of water, and I'll go ahead and back bubble just a little bit, just to get that bubbling over like this. Then I'll take my detailing brush, and of course this is the one that I use every day, so you can kind of see that the bristles are everywhere. And I'll just go ahead and wipe down the sides, kind of push those bristles into where the needle is, kind of, you know, where that little hole is to go into the needle housing, I'll go ahead and clean in there. Kind of just move the product around. That's another reason why a synthetic bristled brush is great for this, because instead of absorbing so much of the pigments, it'll go ahead and move it around instead. And then after that, what I like to do is take the same wet brush and go ahead and just kind of circular motion the needle. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of bubbling from the air and from the leftover cleaning residue on the brush, and that gives it like a little bit of a scrubbing effect to go ahead and remove some of that buildup that might be on the needle, especially from shimmer shades. So once I have that complete, then I just like to go ahead and spray it out on a tissue or in my cleaning jar, whatever I have at the moment. And after I get the cleaner and everything out, what I like to do is just take another round of water, kind of back bubble it a little bit more. As you can see, there's still a lot of cleaning residue left in the gun, and then I'll go ahead and spray it out on a tissue as well until I start to hear that patchy sound. Now, it's really good to hear that patchy sound just because of the fact that when you hear that patchy sound, it's kind of like there are spurts of cleaning product that it's pushing its way through the gun very quickly, and I find that that removes any leftover pigment that might be kind of lingering within the needle housing. In between colors, when I'm not using this deep cleaning method, what I like to do is just take a couple of drops of my cleaner, just the cleaner of course. Take a couple of drops of the cleaner. I'll back bubble the cleaner as high as I can get it to go to create all those patches and bubbles, and just like I just talked about, you want to hear the little spurts that happen from that cleaner not being, or there not being so much liquid, you know, in there in that cleaner. And then you'll notice after those spurts are gone that you can just hear the spray is just so much smoother. So definitely, if you're, you know, in a pinch or in a time crunch, use that method. That seems to work the best for me for clearing up any debris or anything like that that could be building up in the cup or the needle housing. Now, I know all of this might seem like a lot and like it's going to add a lot of time to your routine, but really, honestly, it does not at all. I can honestly say that I complete my routine just as fast doing it this way, if not faster, you know, with this cleaning method, as opposed to if I didn't use this cleaning method at all. You know, I'd be tinkering with my gun the whole time and being really annoyed with it. So definitely take into consideration that this doesn't add that much time, especially after you get used to it. It really becomes like second nature. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I don't even notice that I'm doing it. I just do it and my gun sprays smoothly. So, you know, if you want to have a smooth spray, just try this out. Just trust me, it won't add any useless time to your routine. You'll thank me after this, trust me. So that's pretty much it. If you still have any questions, concerns, or comments on how to, you know, get your gun to spray smoothly, please put them in the comment box below. You know, if I have an answer, I'm more than willing to help you in any way that I can. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for my next video, which will be featuring, of course, the Diner Go Kit. Alright, so that's it. Thank you again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!